All right, you guys, welcome back. This is going to be my first podcast of the year of 2026. And today is going to be a special podcast. I invited another photo booth company. Dun, dun, dun. My competition.
Good intro.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have her introduce herself.
Okay.
And then, of course, if you want to just give a little bio, either about what you do or who you are. And then we'll get into the conversation. So we'll get to know you throughout the conversation as well. So don't worry about what you're going to say right now.
You got it. Well, my name is Claudia. I am 30 years old. I am owner of Miss360 photo booth, the hottest photo booth. And your competition, of course. I do 360s and our new addition, which is our photo booth.
Yep. And I believe the photo booth that she bought this last year, I'm going to say, was the reason why we actually met.
Yes.
So I'm going to give a short story as far as like how we actually got introduced to each other, which wasn't really an introduction. It was more me approached you because I saw that you struggled on your settings and I kind of was just trying to be a nice guy.
Of course.
So we had an event, I believe in the summer. I don't even know which month, but I remember it just being hot. That's how I remember it was in the summer. And I had been contracted on that event to do, I think it was just video and then also my photo booth.
Okay.
And then, of course, someone decided to buy a photo booth that was exactly like mine and sent my client a lovely text because she screenshotted it and sent it to me and said, hey, my 360 girl just said that she bought a photo booth and she's going to basically sponsor her actual photo booth, picture photo booth for free. And I'm like, all right, well, there's no money in that. I'm not going to compete with it. So I'm going to let it be. So you're taking jobs even from the Antelope Valley.
Someone sounds really remorseful. Yeah, but that is how we met. In my defense, she was my client too.
Oh yeah, she was your client.
Well, I had done an event for her previously.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but it was just a 360.
Oh, okay.
So she had booked me again for the 360, and she never mentioned she was gonna have you there either. I have screenshots too.
Oh yeah, I got the receipts.
And then I wanted to start introducing my photo booth because I had just bought in it and I needed marketing pictures, you know? And I remember the last time I did an event with her, it was super fun, super packed, nice decorations. So I was like, why not, throw it in there, get some experience, get my girls. Because I took two of my girls.
Yeah, I remember them. They're nice.
Yeah, and it was kind of, so we could all figure it out and then. I knew it was going to be a intense event because there is a lot of people.
Yeah,
So, for me, it was more of practice than anything. But I didn't know you were involved. I'm sorry.
Well, I didn't really, I still don't really promote myself as a photo booth company as the way that you do because your whole setup is basically, it's really nice. You have the carpet, you have your little stands where you could scan your thing. So you have an actual photo booth company. Mine's just an addition to I guess, what we already have been doing.
Okay.
And then my last podcast, I had mentioned like this isn't something that I had wanted, even in my thought process of even doing my production company, wasn't something that I was going to gravitate towards. It was just circumstantial, people were just asking for it. And I'm like, you know what? Why not? And so far it's been doing fairly decent for me not doing any type of promotion. Like you guys do a lot of promotions like Google, and then you have a page strictly for your photo booth business. You have a website. I saw the other day that you posted a story on your Instagram. You're passing out flyers about your photo booth. So like that's like your main thing.
That's my only income. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my full-time life right
so
now.
I think it's really cool. I think the reason why I wanted to have you on the podcast is because one, I understand not the struggles, but the lifestyle that it takes to actually become, I think, a company like yourself.
Yeah.
Is something that I like to have a conversation, not just amongst each other, but so that other people could actually start listening to the conversation and say like, hey, is it something that I really want to do? Not photo booth related, but just in general, like be an entrepreneur, have my own actual business or even side business, because side businesses become its own thing itself.
Correct.
And then it basically,
sometimes
your
we're not
weekends.
ready for it, to be honest. Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of where my conversation for today is going to go into. But before I actually get into that type of deep end conversation, I kind of want to go into your start of the whole concept of your photo booth, because I kind of understand where it comes from, but I want the audience to actually hear your story as well.
Okay, like where originated.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So originally, I wasn't doing nothing at the time. It was during COVID, of course. I've said this story before, but during COVID, wasn't doing nothing. I was with an ex-partner. You know, I was living well, and I had set money to the side, and I was like, you know what? I'm starting to get bored. I kind of want to do something now. And like every girl, I did the lashes. I did all that girly stuff, but it wasn't clicking. And then I saw David's videws on YouTube, of course.
The famous
We all
David.
know who David is, right? By now, if you're in the photo booth industry, you have to know who David is. And it just inspired me. I was like, you know what is this 360 thing? It looks so easy. He made it seem so cool. And my partner at the time, he was a boss. Like, he had businesses and stuff. And I never had that mentality. I was always working 9 to 5s, you know, stuff like that. So I was like, no way, I'm so scared. What if it doesn't work? You know, that's my savings. And that mentality that sometimes we get, right? And he told me, he's like, go for it. And I went for it. And thankfully for me, it took off right away. I thought I was going to have to like sit on it. You know how like small businesses start, you start posting on Facebook and stuff. And no, I kind of just made an Instagram, took a picture, and then kind of just made everyone repost me. You know, I would promote.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it kind of took off.
All right. How was your first event?
My first event, oh, damn. It's almost going to be 4 years. Okay, so I started with the promo event. I did a free event. So I did a free event. I put my setup. I had my camera ready. You know, I was there, and it was so much fun.
Okay.
It was so much fun. And I think the compliments and everyone loving it, and it was brand new. That's when the 360 had came out.
Yeah,
you know, there wasn't that many girls doing
it was
it.
very popular back then.
Right. And I was like, I love this.
Okay.
I love, you know, and it's funny because I'm not a social person.
All right.
I'm not a party girl, but, you know, and it was easy. I loved it.
Okay.
And it kind of just took off.
It just took off from there as far as like I guess, was there a need for you to actually start it?
No. So I think that's where last year, that's what I kind of was battling with.
Okay.
Because I think I always had it in mind, like, oh, it's just like a little side business.
Okay,
you know, I never thought when I started the business that it was going to become my only income.
Okay.
That it was like, that was going to be mine. You know, I thought it was like, oh, a side thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Fun money. A little money. If it makes it cool.
Yeah.
And so I was always having fun with it and stuff. But, you know, that comes with growth. And I don't think I was always ready for all the obstacles that come with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now going back into your current time, what are the characteristics that you've kind of grown into, knowing all these obstacles and variables that come with owning your own business?
Ooh. I'm learning how to set boundaries, a lot of mental stuff that I'm learning, you know.
Any that you could teach?
You know, I've always been scared. You know, when we have our slow periods, we panic and we get scared. You know, it's always what I really battled with, that I had to learn with, was stop and breathe. Because, you know, TikTok now has this thing of making it seem like it's so easy. Everyone could start it. You know, you only need a few $100,000 and boom, it'll take off. You'll make 500 and then they portray it. So a lot of people have like, so now the business is really
watered down. Yeah.
Right. And I was struggling with that.
Okay.
Because I was like, oh my God, these are all my competition.
Okay.
You know, and then it also clicked in my head that, because at the same time, that's when I made it a full time. Because I was always working still, you know, I still had little other jobs, but then I made it a full time. So it was like, I went into like panic mode, you know, and then I had to learn like, hey, there's enough for everyone.
Okay.
There's enough for everyone, you know, and just because they're doing it doesn't mean it's going to take off on them. Okay. You know, so I had to just focus on mine, you know, just continue doing what I do, and it's been working for me.
Yeah. I think the whole concept of being an entrepreneur is that we're basically going on a stride that we can't even see where it's leading us to, because we do so much up in the back end that in my head, I'm like, is this going to take off? I don't know. Let me just do it. And then I'm just doing it. And then in my head, I'm like, hopefully there's the clouds will just disappear and I could see like where it's going to end up so I could keep striving. But in reality, I don't. Like even doing this podcast, I'm like, who knows where it's going to take off or if it's going to take off. But at the end of the day, I like doing it.
Right.
I enjoy doing it. Why not do it? You know, like that for me, it makes me happy. Of
course, you have to believe in yourself.
I have to believe in the idea that I'm just going to do it because I enjoy it. Of course, I think when we were texting, I'm like, I wish I could do it more often, but in reality, I have priorities too. So I think when it comes to work, we have to kind of like offset when we're going to put in time for ourselves. And this is time for me right now.
Yeah.
You know, even though this is technically still work and it still falls into my business, it's still something that I could say it's just for me. And I'm not trying to be in front of my camera and my lens. I'm like, all right, you guys, today we're going to talk blah, 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 blah. You know that I'm not a sales guy right now. I'm just, like I said, it's more of a genuine conversation because I don't even know where the conversation.
You truly enjoy what you're doing.
Currently, yes.
Having these conversations.
Currently, yes. Yeah. And I do enjoy having people like yourself. That's why I invited you. But I enjoy it because I think I had mentioned to you, like I had the hardest time having conversations. And then being in front of the camera is even another obstacle that I needed to fall into. I'm like, oh, I'm going to be in front of the camera and have a conversation. That's even scarier. So the concept of just having an obstacle that I'm trying my best to conquer, it feels good, you know, like you going into your business, being scared, you know, but then conquering it and then saying, well, I am doing it.
Yeah.
Why not just continue doing it, you know?
Right. Yeah. Because I have to admit, last year was the first time I was like, ooh, is this it? Like, you know, because I think I wasn't taking some time for myself. Okay. Or maybe I took a lot of time for myself.
What do you mean?
I think I was so comfortable where it was at.
Okay, gotcha.
You know, I have to be honest with myself. I think I was very comfortable where my business was at. It was doing good. It's been very consistent. I have a lot of regular clients, so that has always helped.
Okay.
You know, but it was like, this business is growing, and if I want to, you know, stick around, I have to grow with it.
Gotcha.
And it's still scary. You know, every time you add something new, every time you make a business decision, it's always scary because you're making the decision, it is going to fall right back on you. You know, you depend on it.
Yeah.
So I think when I was letting it be consistent and focusing more on like personal issues and stuff, I was losing my touch with it, you know? And then when I wanted to jump back in, I was like, wait, where do I start all over again? Like so many people are, this is new and this is new, you know? And then.
Was it the social media thing that you just didn't put too much attention to last year?
Yeah, because social media could affect my mental.
Okay.
You know, but it sucks because when you have a business now, a lot of that comes with social media.
Oh, so much social media.
So it's like you can't check out.
Yeah.
You know, because like, well, I make my money off social media,
yeah, exactly.
Right? That's where I promote myself. So that has sucked. But I took my break and now I'm just like, I'm enjoying it. And I am also I talk to myself now, you know?
Okay.
When I see other businesses and stuff, it's like, hey, like, it's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay, you know?
I think if you would have met me maybe a couple years before and we kind of fell into the same situation how we met, I might have been a little bit more bitter, mean, standoffish, maybe not even proposed anything to like help you guys out with your settings. I would have just, you know what, let them fall. You know, let them figure it out right now. You know,
I get it. We could all be petty like that. I mean, it's part of the business. I've gone to events where I see other photo booth owners, and you know, I'm just like,
oh, okay, I could do better.
like you didn't book me.
Look at their pictures. You know,
that's what I'm saying. There's enough for everyone out there. You know, and we can't take it all personal.
I think it's also the people that you surround yourself with. I learned a lot of that. Or in that basis, as far as like when I hung out with David at the time, and because he's so like, he wants to help you grow your business. In my head, I had him in the back of my head because I saw your photo booth and I know what photo booth it was because it was the same as mine.
Of course.
And I'm like, I know what they're trying to do. I see them behind the photo booth trying to poke at it and, you know, trying to figure things out. And once again, in my head, it was like, what should I do now? Like, because I know you took income from the
Right.
company. I was like,
Yeah.
am I going to go and then
Why help her? Yeah, of course.
So, but once again, it kind of went consciously like back in my head. I heard David's almost like not his voice, but almost like his image of like what I guess he portrays, like just be helpful, you know, like you never know. And that's what I did. I'm like, I just went up to you guys and like, hey, and I told you that I had the same thing maybe, or I might have said something, but I'm like, hey, let's change your ISO. And you're like, I don't even know what that means. I'm like, here you go. Here.
Yeah.
And then now it looks better. And that's it.
Yeah, no, you know, I get DMs all the time of other photo booth people asking me for help too, you know, and of course you think like that, you know, you go to like, well, why would I help you?
Yeah.
If, like you're my competition. But I do answer their DMs. If I could help, why not?
Yeah.
You know, because I get help from someone, you know, I get help from David. David has helped me before. So it's like, if you can, why not?
Yeah.
You know, I've been at events where I've seen other photo booth business struggling, or they figure out screwdriver and, you know, something. And it's like, hey, do you need help?
Yeah.
Like, because I've been in that position too. You know, I've cried at events plenty of times.
Right.
You know,
I
like,
like
have
that
you seen me? I'm sure you saw me panicking. You were looking at me, making fun of me. You know, you're like, damn,
like who?
she's about to cry.
Let her cry.
Yeah, no, but you know, you were so nice, and look at us now. We're here. You know,
and I think at the initial conversation, it kind of like that. Maybe there was a wall that initially I didn't want to cross. And once again, consciously or unconsciously, I don't even know where my emotions were because I was focused on what I needed to do as well. But once I did do the approach and I said, hey, this, and I think it was also your demeanor. If your demeanor would have been different, where it was like standoffish or, you know, like, how dare you, it's my photo booth, that kind of thing, that to me would have been like, oh, you know, okay, you fall on your face now.
Right.
But I think it was more of just because the initiative that you took in to say, thank you so much. And it does look better. And then from there, I think we took a picture.
Yeah.
And then we just had a small conversation about the photo booth. I'm not sure if we hadn't even mentioned David yet at that point. I know we did at some point.
I think you recognize, right? You kind of said something about my business.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I saw you on his video.
Yeah. And
that's what it was.
I'm like, recognize you.
I'm like, that's what it was. And I'm like, oh, you know David. And you're like, oh, okay. But I think it was your demeanor that you kind of understood that someone was trying to help you out. And that's kind of what made me want to even have a conversation not leading into nothing photo booth related afterwards, I would say.
Yeah, because I'm honest. I don't know everything. I'm still learning.
Well, you never know with people too. Sometimes I think some people take that in the wrong way, you know?
You know what I tell my girls when they're working? I'm like, you never know who's watching.
I was watching.
You know, that's what I'm saying. Like, you never know who's watching. So it's like, deep down, I was probably freaking cussing myself out and panicking and stuff. But it's like, I have to be nice and keep it cool because you never know who's your next client, who's watching, who's your follower, who's, you know. So it's like, you just got to always be appreciative too, you know. At the end of the day, you weren't being mean. You were helping me.
Yeah, exactly. And I do agree on the idea that you never know who's watching you, you know, regardless if you're working with them currently or not. I try to approach every event as far as like, as if all the guests are my clients, you know, because at some point someone will call me, and people have called me at events that I might have said something to them like, hi, my name's Urban, but then they'll call me later like, hey, I got your number from so-and-so. You did their event maybe a couple months ago and I want you to do my event. And I'm like, yeah, I do remember it. But in reality, I don't remember that. But it's just the concept that I'm pretty sure the approach that I gave to them or the idea that I gave to them made it easier for them to say like, yeah, I would want to hire him for the event. And even when I don't even pass out flyers or I don't even pass out business cards, still to this day, I have nothing photo booth, like in my website, there's nothing about the photo booth.
Do you plan on making it like a photo booth business?
I'm debating. I'm really debating on as far as like how far I want to take the photo booth because I have seen, I guess the pros is that I am active. Like people do like working with us. The cons is it takes away from what I'm really wanting to grow the business into.
Okay.
And for me, it's almost like I want to find somebody to manage it.
Okay.
And that manager hasn't arrived yet for me. You know, like, okay, take the photo booth. Here's the system. Could you work it? You know, could you build it? Could you make a template? You know, that kind of thing. Could you work the printer? And so far it hasn't happened because it is a business within itself. There's so many categories and variables, and you have to, I don't know, snap pics and its own thing. And I never use Canva, even though I use Photoshop. It's a lot of things behind the scenes that I didn't know that went into the photo booth business, besides just going and doing the event. And the event's probably the easiest part to do.
Oh yeah.
The back end is a harder part, like, oh, I need to create a template, and then you have to send it to the client. They need to approve of it, and like, oh, I don't like this font, or I don't like this color
There's
scheme.
so much more time that goes into it than people think.
Exactly. And I think that's where maybe in my head I didn't realize that's what it was. So right now it's almost like I don't want to push it too far because I'm going to overwhelm myself with the things that I'm technically have already grown. But in reality, I wouldn't mind it growing itself to what it could be. Like I said, it just has to come where it can't take away from my actual
and that comes
primary.
with making a team, building a team,
which has been so hard.
It is so hard. I think for sure I was not ready for it. When I started, I've had help, right? But it was like, oh, well, it's a small. I always was like, oh, it's a small business. I mean, I still say it's a small business, right? But now it's like, it's my business. So it was like, well, your prima will come help you, and your brother come help you. Well, it's just a little assistant, right?
Yeah.
But then when you start taking on more events and bigger events, it's like, oh no, you actually need someone that you could trust as professional. That's gonna be the other image of you, you know? Especially for me, I think as my business thing that I kind of go with is I market a lot of myself. Yeah. My personality, like the outgoing. So it's like, if I'm sending someone out there, they kind of have to represent some of that for me too. Exactly. So it's like seeing how the other girls work, and it's like, let's be honest, no one's ever going to work the way you work, especially for your business. Exactly. Because for them, it's a 9 to 5. Right. It's another check. For you, that's your life. Exactly. Right. So it's like, you really have to trust people. And I can't trust people, so it's like going into the topic of like bringing in people that are having to represent you at an event. You had mentioned that you're an introvert. Yeah. How did you break out of that concept of you changing personalities now that you're in an event, technically at these events? Because I'm an introvert too. And I do see my pitch, like right now it's really low, but it goes, hi, you guys, that kind of thing. So I do see the difference between my personality, even conversation wise, like it's a lot more in depth. And I think my thought process was so deep that my brain couldn't comprehend what I wanted to say. So now it's almost like, okay, I'm building the conversation through the podcast and through me teaching or through me doing the training and stuff. But now going into the personality type of being an introvert to an extrovert, I would say an extrovert. Right. A category of an extrovert. I think because I used to do sales. So I used to sell cars. Okay. So, when you do sales, you have to have that personality, go-getter. So talking a lot of, So I think that has helped me a lot. Okay. I do like the selling part of it, like the marketing and all that. And I don't know, it's just like a switch. At the events? Yeah, at the events. It's just like making side conversation, making jokes, making them feel like I know them. It's just natural. Have your girls done that? I have girls that have. I know people do it naturally, and then there are people that you need to teach or if not, coach. Correct. Very true. So do you have girls that are currently... Yes, I have a girl. Maddie, shout out to Maddie. She's been with me forever already. She started off, young and shy, and then now she's one of my... I wish I could have her more often. Unfortunately, she works 2 jobs too. She goes to college. Okay. But every time I send her out, nothing but great feedback. She's such a social, beautiful butterfly. Okay. She does it by herself? I feel so confident. Yeah, completely by herself. She can set up. So it's nice because I do feel very confident when she goes out. Okay. I trust her. Okay. Yeah. She's always in a good mood. She's always okay. Okay. And then I've had girls where it's like, babe, it's okay. Chill, talk. Smile. They don't even realize it. Yeah. They just, because they're so, especially if that's their first job. Usually a lot of my girls are like, they're just fresh out of high school, young, So they're like, they don't even know what I'm talking about. And then once they start going to events with me and they start seeing me, they're like, wow, like, you shut it off. Like, You know?
Yes, I have had that experience too, where I'm like, all right, well, I know you're a talkative person, but yet for some reason you can't talk when you're doing a job, that requires talking or socializing, which is very important when it comes to, producing or I guess the lifestyle you're trying to portray at an event is that you're trying to give them the experience of the event, meaning the photographer, videographer, the photo booth. And sometimes they fall into, I'm just doing my technical job, which is the photography or the videography or even the photo booth, and I'm literally just focused on the machinery and that's it. But when it comes to the personality type, I think that's something that's really missed in the industry as far as from what my experiences go. Even the weddings that I've done in the past, I'm like, I've worked with really good photographers that it's like I don't even have to do much because their energy just takes over, and I'm like, bro, you're the thing,
they're the social butterflies.
Yeah, and I don't even have to do anything. But then I worked with other photographers that I'm like, bro, like you're in the way. You're like,
Right.
I could literally do your job right now and you're not doing anything. So I think the combination of just like that personality type that you want to portray at an event is very important. And also just the concept that finding the people that are wanting to be there is super important too, because I think a lot of people just, like you said, the 9 to 5 or the paycheck kind of concept, it could diminish the return of the customer because they're going to say, well, I don't want to deal with that person anymore. And what if they send me that person again?
Right. Exactly.
So the mirroring of who you've become now, has it been easier for you to attract those people into your business?
I think sometimes it's like they expect me to kind of guide them and walk them through it, to teach them, because I'm like that nurturing mother to them. Sometimes I feel like because they're younger, right? But it's like I don't always have the time to like. I kind of, after a few events, I kind of expect you to get it.
Okay.
Unfortunately, so I get a little bit of everything.
Okay.
I luckily I would say no. I think I have another girl. She started off with her name's Brittany. It's funny because she knows she has like that phase where it's like very serious, very, like you don't know if,
she's mad or not.
Right. And she's been with me from the beginning too. And with time I will be like, hey, smile. You're not even realizing it. Again, you don't know who's watching. Just look approachable.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they're shy to come over to the photo booth,
exactly.
And now it's like she's a social butterfly.
Okay.
So it's like, but now that I'm at the part where I'm like growing and I want to bring more machines and have more events and stuff, it's like I just don't have all that time to like teach a girl for another 2 years.
And it takes a long time if you want to bring in the person that you like and they've been so loyal to you and I don't know, they are nice, but they just don't have that self-discipline to kind of like comprehend it themselves or even try to teach it themselves to like kind of like grow into that personality that you need in your company.
And then I think when you are like coming like like this is my first business, right? This is my first time being like a boss. Like even when they call me boss, I'm like, oh, that feels weird. Like,
Do you like it?
I think
Oh, dang.
I think deep down it's like,
God.
ooh, but it still feels weird, right? Because it's like that comes with a lot.
Okay.
A lot of responsibility. And then I wasn't ready. I didn't know exactly how to manage people. When things go wrong, when you have to discipline them, when you like, so it was like a learn because I'm such a nice girl. Sometimes I feel like, oh,
take advantage.
I want to avoid the conflict.
Gotcha.
Right. So it's like now it's like I gotta
be more direct.
Right.
Okay.
And set boundaries.
Yeah. I think in the beginning when I first started my business, I was overly nice. I was overly giving. I was overly just nurturing. I was overly just holding hands, and I was overly just. I'm
like, I'm winning. I want everyone to win with me.
Exactly.
And I still do. But it's like people start taking advantage.
100%. And I think the lessons of that have to, like you said, the setting of the boundary, but also understanding people and understanding that sometimes they're not ready for that kind of like motivation or discipline or conversation or responsibilities, that you just have to cut them loose, you know, unfortunately, which is a hard part, you know.
Very, because they end up being like family and friends at some point, you know. So it's like, ooh,
yeah, because I've had people in my company and I've downsized it since the beginning, because in the beginning we had a big team. Like it was big. It was 5 I would say, like another editor. Currently it's me, Jordan, Ari, technically current working on the company. Ari does the editing, Jordan's a photographer, gradually going into the more video side. I'm basically the business, the videographer, the editor, the manager, the
finance guy,
the podcaster, the photographer,
of course,
the event planner, everything. In the beginning, it was just like I was delegating a lot, like you said, but I was not seeing what was being missed on the people, because there's too many people that I needed to cater to, and I didn't understand how to let people go quicker. You know, because I'm like, oh, you are a nice guy and I want you to grow. And I understand when I first started, I made mistakes and I would forget things too. Right. But then again, my clients would complain like, he forgot this, or he didn't do this, or my client said this when he was at the house, you know, that kind of the communication of like mirroring my type of communication that I go into when I'm at a location. It's not the same. So I'm more of like, I am more hesitant to bring in more people. I'm not going to lie, but I know now what I'm looking for as far as like, if someone does arrive to my company, I know the type of person I do want. And those things, I think when you're more naive, it's easier to bring in more people because you're naive and you're more open-minded to the person. But now that I am more directional on the actual person, it's harder for me to find that person, it's like a catch-22. Right. Because now I'm looking for somebody that might not even exist, or I'm overlooking because I'm looking for almost like perfection already, you know?
I see where that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So now going into the delegating stuff, are you now more open to that stuff, or are you still kind of holding into, I need to do everything myself still?
I am getting ready to start letting some responsibility to some people. So I didn't realize how important a little workspace was. Yeah. You know, so I'm currently right now building a little office studio. So that's exciting for me. It's motivating me to keep going, because I feel like I worked everywhere, you know, on the road, on the go, on that. And sometimes it is hard when you start taking this like a full-time job. It's like, you need to be surrounded with the things that are going to motivate you, you know, and then also like setting up a training place where the girls could come and train and see how to organize things more properly, and, you know, so they could be more confident when they're out there. So I think that's my goal for this year, is just kind of setting up a little space, figuring it out, organizing it. So when I start bringing team and growing my team, everyone's like in the same page, you know?
Now that you're in more into the training aspect, and I've had asked David certain questions on this too, and I kind of understand where his mindset when it comes to the training, when he was still doing currently the photo booth events. How are you going about the training when you bringing in new people? Like you had mentioned, you want a space and you want them to like be confident in the area. Do you have them set it up beforehand, like where like you're like, okay, we're gonna go and prepare, where I understand that you know how to break down, build up and turn on the machine, learn the program?
I think that was kind of a bit of my flaw there, like my little flaw, that I wasn't doing that. Okay. And I remember one time I had a conversation. David's gonna be like, we keep talking about David in this broadcast, but one time I had a conversation with David, and I will see how he trained the girl, his people, you know, and
he's hardcore.
He is, bro. You don't get no second chance with him.
He's hardcore. He is like, when I went to his event, I'm like, oh, right, okay, that's a boss.
I can't be like that. I'm still a little bit of a nice girl, you know.
No, I get you.
Everyone runs everything differently, but it did open my eyes of, I am probably losing money. Yeah, probably. Wasting my time, you know, and just because I'm being nice, you know, and I haven't taken the time to train properly or stop and have conversations with them and make sure we're all in the same page.
Yeah.
So it's something that I started barely.
Okay.
Like maybe 2 months ago, 3 months ago. You know,
Okay,
I
recent.
sat my girls down. We had
a team meeting.
Yeah, a team meeting. And I'm like, hey, a lot of things are gonna change. Are we all in the same page? If not, you know, I love you girls. We would still be friends, you know, but
Bye, Felicia.
yeah.
All right.
You know? and it's like, I'm just gonna have to show that example that there's not gonna be a lot of, you know, excuses now.
Yeah.
They're gonna be tolerated.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to start treating it like a business.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I want to succeed.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to grow.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, maybe last year in the beginning I wasn't ready, but now I'm like, Claudia's making a comeback.
All right.
You know,
right.
she motivated. And I just don't have time to babysit.
Yeah.
And David opened my eyes to that.
Yeah.
You know, because he doesn't babysit nobody.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he tells you once, twice.
Yeah.
I'm not that mean, but it's
I don't see it being mean. I think he's just more
right. I'm using the wrong term.
Yeah, I think he's just very direct, and he's just
he
like
knows what he wants.
Exactly.
He's very like cut. Yeah, exactly. I'm not using the right terms, but yeah. So, and I'm more of like a sucker.
Yeah.
I'm more like, I'll give you another chance because I know I was there once,
Yeah,
right? But I think I was letting it get to me.
Yeah.
Because then I realized like, now I'm fucking pissed after an event.
Yeah.
Or like now I'm holding a little personal grudge because I'm not being communicating and I'm not feeling like I could talk to my team anymore.
Yeah.
So last year was a lot of learning experiences.
Gotcha.
And that's what I'm saying. A lot of behind the scenes that people don't see.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of mental things that I struggle with that people don't, you know?
Recognize.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they only see the highlights of your stories or highlights of your posts, and you're smiling and
yeah, that's why
now.
I hate when people are like, oh my God, this is so easy on TikTok. Like, right.
Well, that's everything. Everything is approached that way online.
Right, because they're trying to sell it.
Yeah, exactly. They're trying to sell their course or a product or whether paper, these little items or little classes. And like, oh, hey, you can make 6 figures and only work in the weekends. La, 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 la. Yeah,
and it's like, if you're really in the industry, you know it's not like that. You're going to have ups and downs. You're going to lose. You're going to win. That's just part of life.
Yeah.
You know, So I try to be as raw as I can, but you know, I can't always show everything on Instagram.
No, I get that. I think this is the biggest reason why it's easier for me to have the podcast and have the conversations like this, because like I said, I've tried my best to be in front of the camera and just have it in front of my face and talk to the lens. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I feel so fake right now. Mm. Like, hi, I'm talking about my lens today and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, like I sound like a robot. Even when I script it, I'm like, bro, like I feel so weak.
No, honestly, I'm always like, how do people make content so like much? Like, I love making content. Yeah. But my content is really because I was like in the mood. It was fun, you know. But being consistent with it is so hard.
It's hard.
It is because I'm not always happy.
Yeah.
I'm not always cheery. Yeah. You know, it's just like, how the heck are these people, you know?
Yeah, doing it.
Yeah, and I like posting real stuff. Like, you know, it's like when it makes me happy out, and so it's like it's not fake, you know?
Yeah, no, I get that. I am struggling when it comes to like the self-promotion, self-branding. It's always been a factor of like, I know it's something I need to work on, and I've tried my best to like always push forward and okay, you got to do it this year and you got to do it this year, and it just always falls back.
And it's so time consuming.
It's very time consuming. I think it's because it's not me. I think it's just harder for me just to be unauthentic, and I'm not saying that it shouldn't be unauthentic. I know there's a way to do it where you could do it where it's your personality and your type of conversation. The things that you're talking about, it should be about what the things that you want to talk about because it interests you and all that stuff. And I think those are the things that I've had a hard time just to even approach, because I'm like, what if I hate it and then I hate the topics now? And it like the lingering of the negatives fall into my head too. And of course it just the self-consciousness too falls into that too. Like, oh, look at my face, or look at my hair, or look at my lonja, you know, it's popping out, you know?
Yeah, for sure. You know, especially because like you're putting yourself out there, you know, it's like sometimes I'm like, I just turned 30, right? But I'm like, I'm making these cringy Instagram videos. Like, you know, like it feels weird, you know, but it's like, hey, they market, they're doing great, they're fun, you know? So it's like,
they make us money.
Right. But then it's like, then you start seeing yourself and you start judging, and you're your worst critic. And then, you know, someone else is just doing it better. So then now you're even like, it's just a lot of mental that comes with owning a business. Yeah. So I just, this year I'm like, you know what? I just have to work on that. So it's like I wake up, I listen to positive business stuff. I think also when you own a business, you don't have as many friends.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like surround yourself with people that have businesses. Cause like even sometimes I'm like, your encouragement helps me, you know, because you're always hyping me up on Instagram.
Yeah.
You're always like liking my stuff
Yeah.
or like, hey, that's cool, you know, and
Yeah.
it's like, thanks.
Yeah.
Like it makes you feel good because people are noticing.
Yeah.
You know?
I think for me, it matters more, like you said, if it's another business, you know,
Mhm.
because I understand the lows and just as much as I know the highs.
Mhm.
So me encouraging you, it's almost like, you know what, like maybe she needs it today, you know. I don't know, because I know it's a highlight, but still, like I know she's cold, she's outside, you know, she's, I don't know where her headspace is at. You know, did she sleep good last night? And now she's like on a 16-hour day of not going to sleep, and she's exhausted and she still has to drive home. Like, why not just send her something positive?
Yeah. So I think, and again, I have a lot of other business owners that do DM me, a lot of girls that have photo booth companies.
Okay.
And I love that. You know, I love them supporting and noticing
Mhm.
my stuff because it's like, I am trying.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, it just keeps you going.
Yeah.
It definitely keeps you going.
Yeah, and then surrounding yourself with other people that are basically on the same path, maybe not the photo booth business, but as at least the same path of like a direction of life. I think that's kind of where a lot of people do fall into the lonely
Mhm.
side of, I guess, just their human existence.
Mhm.
It's important to just speak out about it, because there are a lot of people out there that are trying, but they, like I said, we don't know what's on the other side, you know, yet.
Mhm.
Because we're studying or we're working so hard, we're so focused and we're devoted on one little thing, but yet we're humans. We want to be social.
Right. And I think others, like others that don't have businesses, sometimes they're like, well, you have your own business. You make your own schedule. You have your own time, you know, like, or they think we're not doing nothing during the day. And it's
Mhm.
like, we just go to these events. Like, only if you knew, like,
Yeah.
I wake up thinking about like my business. I
Yeah.
sleep thinking about my
Yeah.
business. Like, you know, 2 a.m. out of nowhere, I'm like, oh, my business, you know,
Yeah.
I forgot something.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, it's not like that. Like sometimes it's like it's easier to have a 9 to 5 because
Yeah.
you get to clock out.
And then also someone's telling you what to do.
Right.
You're telling yourself what to do.
Yeah, I have to push myself.
Exactly.
And I don't always want to push myself.
Exactly. And sometimes you
know?
don't even know what you're pushing yourself
Yeah.
towards.
Exactly. You know, it's like, ooh, what's next? Like, you know, and it's hard for sure.
Yeah, obstacles do come about, but we learn from them. We adjust, and I do believe that even the negatives, you know, like our character builds somehow. You know, when I first started the photo booth, the one thing that I hated was that I am not in control of this machine, because
my
the
God.
machine does its own thing sometimes.
The printer.
The printer, the firmware, the wireless thing, the WPPI, whatever. And I've had so many experience in so many different locations, and I'm like, okay, now I know where I could use this thing in this way, and now I know where I have to use other things or other methods in other locations. But that's just me prepping myself for these bigger events, you know?
Yeah.
And I think in the moment, of course, I'm pissed off. I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I think I know how to control my anxiety fairly well when it comes to those situations where I'm just focused on trying to fix it, that I don't even think about the anxiety or the nervousness that I'm in until afterwards. It hits me after. Like, yo, it's like, holy shit, how did this happen? But in the moment, I do see myself in control. It's just the moment that sucks, because I'm like trying to provide this thing for my client and the machine's not working, and I'm resetting it and it's embarrassing, and I'm basically tearing it apart, and they're like, what's going on?
No, and then you feel like all eyes are on you.
Literally on
you know,
you,
and
yeah.
it's like, for me, I'll admit, I don't think I'm always on control. I'm a female. I feel like I'm very emotional,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
so sometimes I do let it get to me, especially when I'm like, for me, it's having to go and tell my client, sorry. Like, I don't like doing that. You know, sorry, I can't do it. Sorry, it didn't work.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I've usually figured something out,
Yeah.
you know, but for me, that sucks.
Yeah.
Not so much the money. It's just, the letting down, you know, because you do promote yourself to be this high end photo booth. And all
Yeah,
that.
the
So it's like,
professional.
but some things are out of your control. Some things like the Wi-Fi, you know, the printer. I don't know what, I tested it before I came, you know, so it's like you just have to.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you do like pre-prints before you actually go into any event? Like,
Oh, I triple double check.
oh,
I
okay.
do. I try. I'm a
Okay.
very I'd be organizing for 2 days before my event.
Okay.
I have OCD,
Okay. Okay.
so
Okay.
I
Okay.
hardly forget stuff,
Okay.
thankfully, but I
Yeah.
do check.
Okay. Yeah. Because I think that's something that's very important for those that are even wanting to get into the photo booth business. It's not just doing the template and then setting up at the event. It's literally for me personally, because it has happened at an event where the stupid photo printer doesn't want to print for whatever reason. Now I basically have to build the printer basically with the iPad, or if not the whole photo booth,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll do a test print.
Yeah.
And luckily it's happened to the point where like I do notice that I'm doing something wrong when I'm doing that. Like I think last time me and Jordan had one, I did a template and I didn't notice that there was a layer on top of a layer. So it looks super flat. And I was trying to figure it out. Thought that was a stupid printer and I was blaming the printer. But it was because I was at my office, I was able to like be anxiety driven and be like this thing that I'm normally not at an event, that Jordan was able to see something that I wasn't allowing me to see at the moment. And he basically said like, hey, I think there's a layer on top of a layer. And I think that's what it is. And sure enough, I went on SnapPic and I like, son of a bitch. It was so simple though.
Right.
But imagine if that was at an event.
Oh, I think I've learned I learned the hard way.
Okay.
I think that's why I'm like very OCD now. Because when I did start off, I was cocky like that.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
well, I just had the event the night before, everything worked. There's no
Yeah,
issues.
exactly.
Let me just,
Let me just go.
leave it in the car, go to the next event the next day, and then showed up to the next event, and then the thing was broken from the night before.
What thing?
The 360 photo booth.
okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So it was like, wow, like only if I would have stopped and like cleaned and checked,
And then
we could have prevented something.
Yeah.
Maybe I could have fixed it at home. I
Yeah.
had a few hours, so stuff like that. I've learned the hard way.
yeah, and I've learned the hard way too when it comes to the photo booth. And
Mm-hmm.
like I said, when I first started, I'm not used to things not working.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. For my equipment, it's always working. Like my camera, it's my camera, and I have a second camera and a third camera. But they're right there. They're in my hands, and I'm holding it. I'm touching it. And I know the batteries. I know the format. I know everything that has to do with photography and videography. But when it came to the photo booth, there's so many little wires and cables, and now I need to buy this stupid cable. And I was like, oh my bro,
And
like
that's funny because I would think it's easier for you because like you already should have like a concept of
yes.
because you deal with cameras and stuff,
Yeah,
right?
the technical side, I understand when it comes to the settings. Like to make things look good, I know how to do. But when it comes to like the firmware, if you don't update your firmware, it's not gonna connect correctly because of whatever. And I'm like, oh my god! Or if not, the WPPI, the little stupid box. If there's I work a lot with my friend Joey. He's a DJ. He does a lot of wireless lights and a lot of wireless. He has like a lot of wireless speakers, and they're everywhere. And he has a really cool production, but it eats up all the signals.
Oh, okay.
So I can't use the WPPI, which is the wireless thing, for the printer to the iPad because it's so confused. And I'm like, I've learned the hard way not to work that with him. So now I have to hardwire everything when I'm working with him, which is fine. But still, like, it's just one of those lessons that I'm like, why isn't like I'm resetting it? I'm like, this is so dumb. Like, why did I pay for this if it's not working?
Yeah. See, I didn't want to go towards the photo booth side of it. I was always happy with my 360. Because I know my 360, and to be honest, the 360, well, it's not as complicated as the photo booth.
Okay.
Photo booth, I feel like there's a lot of wires, a lot of settings in the camera, a lot of lighting adjustments. It's well, at least for me, because I like a good quality picture.
Yeah.
And I'm still trying to figure that out.
Yeah.
I learn as I go. And I was just scared to learn something new. And that's the honest truth,
Okay.
But then when I was like, it's such a classic. And since I started, I've always been told, like, hey, do you also do photos, So I was losing a lot of money on that, and I was refer a lot of other photo booth companies. But when I finally decided to jump on board and do the photo booth, I was so scared. I was so lost. I've cried so much during that photo booth. Originally, at first I started with just digital, which was like, okay,
easy.
cool.
Scan
it's easy.
and text your picture. Yeah.
Right. And if you know me,
Yeah.
I'm not a actual tech savvy girl.
Okay.
I hate technology.
Okay.
You know, I'm a very old school girl. Give
Okay.
me a pen and paper. I still write everything pen and paper. So I was like, oh, this is a lot of technology I gotta learn, you know, with everything. Because I feel like now your business needs a lot of technology. You know, everything's social media and all that. But I for sure cried, especially with that printer. I feel like I always do a little prayer, you know, because that printer, whenever it decides it just wants to stop working, it sucks.
Yeah.
But it's just practice.
Yeah.
I practice. I test everything as much as I can. I have backups of everything, you know, and I try to play cool, you know, when we need to change papers or it stops working at an event, you know, I just try to stay calm. That's all I can really do at this point, you know?
Let's take a small break. We have a little technical difficulty with the camera. Let me fix that, talking about technology. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. We just had a camera just turn off, you know. Bro, you're bringing in this look over here. What's going on?
Voodoo. Sorry.
It's right next to you, too. It's all right. It comes with its pros and cons, but like we're talking about scaling, you know, you don't want to stay comfortable because things do evolve, and sometimes the stagnant of our comfortability is basically what's going to keep us either in the same location, same spots, within whatever, if you want to call financial or physical or I don't know, like spiritual even, you know, like we have to kind of fall into like, let me be uncomfortable now so that maybe I could take the next step as far as like wherever this journey of life is going to take me, you know?
Yeah.
The photo booth itself, it wasn't something that like I said, I was never ever thinking about even kind of even trying to fall into, because I know it's an investment, and it is an investment because it costs money, you know, like, you know, like, am I really going to push forward so I can make my money back? You know, like you go into like now buying props, you go into falling into the paper, the ink that never got to my house, you know.
Ooh. Don't bring me to your drama.
I got proof. You know, but at the end of the day, like this thing that has, I think that I've approached, or now that I've kind of put into my business, has given me more opportunities too.
Oh, yeah.
Because now I am a production company that has a photo booth, and people that were currently already hiring us now ask for the photo booth, you know.
Yeah.
And they've told me too, like, even though I just started last year, they tell me like the only reason we're hiring you is because you have a video camera too.
Okay.
And they like the highlighted video alongside the photo booth. And the photo booth people, they only have a photo booth or a 360, but people still want to record their events, regardless of how big or small.
Yeah. True.
And I think that's kind of my advantage right now, is that I was already doing events, or I was technically not falling. I was kind of staying away from events actually, because I started with weddings, but now that we're doing more corporate events, it kind of falls in together, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm not saying no to anything. I'm just putting in more time into something that, like you said, like the delegation has been the hardest part for me.
How do you feel about the white label events? Would that be something you would be interested in?
I think if I had more time, and I think if I had more trust in people too.
Okay.
It all depends on who I'm working with, I would say.
Okay.
Because I know David's kind of doing something similar to that with his Google stuff, like where he's giving the jobs to other companies and he's taking a piece of it. Like the delegation, right? Just like, here, I'm just going to give you...
I've known photo booths always have. When I started, I used to kind of do that. And then I realized real quick why I didn't like it anymore. You know, because we go back to like, you sell yourself, you sell it, like, you know, if you know my photo booth, if you follow Miss360 photo booth, follow me on Instagram, Facebook, you know, we decorate, we set up and all that. And when I was doing the white label, you know, people noticed real quick, hey, that's not what I booked, you know, and I didn't like getting those messages after an event. So I was like, yeah, that's not. Yeah,
no, like I said, the trust is the biggest thing for me. I think so backtracking how we really started, I had someone, I'm not going to name their names or anything, but we had someone in our team that had a photo booth.
Okay.
That's how the concept of the photo booth within the company actually started. They had it. I was promoting it. I did the marketing. I basically even put their price tag, and they were telling me like this is
Under you?
under me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was subcontracting, but they were my photographer or whatever. They're in the team.
Correct.
And they told me about their photo booth, and I'm like, well, I have clients. Let me push it. They weren't asking for it yet. I was pushing it to them. Like I
saw your other videos. Is that kind of what you guys were talking
Yes,
about? How
yes.
then the next year you had
Yes,
okay, got it.
exactly.
Okay.
I was pushing their photo booth on my clients, and I told them, I'm not going to take no money. This is your money. I'm basically just putting my name on top of your photo booth. Because for me, it's like, I want to say yes to my clients and say I have more to give than say, no, I don't have it and I don't have that service, go to another company.
Mhm.
But what ended up happening is when when people start growing, and it's not like they were growing it to be, I'm not trying to talk shade or anything,
Mhm.
but they just didn't like that it was my logo, my name on top of invoices. On invoices that they were getting fully paid for. I never took any money off of their
Yeah, because it's a pride thing because it was your name, not theirs.
Yeah, and that was the issue with them. And from when they spoke about why is the invoice not whatever their name was at the time, it became an issue with me because I'm like, well, it's my customer, my relationship with my clients, that I built throughout the years. I'm promoting it. You told me you charged $250. I bumped it up to $350 because I thought it was too cheap. So I'm literally giving you another $100 on top of what you've already mentioned that you're marketing yourself with. And at the end of the day, I kind of felt like it was kind of a stab in the back and almost like a thing where I'm like, well, I'm trying to help you out, while I'm trying to help out the company.
Well, yeah.
So it just didn't make sense to kind of keep that type of energy around. So I kind of let it go. Like, we're like, okay, you could go now. Like, bye.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't need you no more. And that's where my photo booth came about because I was already kind of servicing the photo booth, but it was just very offset on the side, like when people needed it. And now it's kind of becoming a thing of its own. And I'm like, oh, shit. That kind of thing. Like,
you don't have his like own page or anything like that, right? It's kind of like all blended in. Oh.
Yeah, it's like the AV Alta, the stadium, they've used it. I have parties here, events out. The AV's growing, that's I think that's where what's been happening.
Okay.
That because it's been happening, there's more events, there's more promotional stuff, there's more cutting of a ribbon here and there, and I'm like, okay, well, I could do both. I could do the photos and the photo booth and the video if you need it. So it's growing within itself. But my concept right now is just like, could I find the person that could take over and just be basically, like you said, be me, know? And that's been the hardest thing for me currently right now.
Yeah.
You'll
find them. You just have to keep trying.
Yeah, I have to keep trying with everything, right? What else am I going to do?
People don't want to work nowadays, but there's some that do.
Some do.
Yeah.
Some do. As far as like when it comes to your family dynamic, how are they now approaching your photo booth? Like as far as like as a whole, like from the beginning to now, were they like hesitant or were they like, go get it?
Oh, that's a good question. I feel like in the beginning, they didn't really say anything. Both my parents have always been very supportive, right? Everyone has been. But I think in the beginning, it was just like not really talked about. It was kind of like, oh, well, she's doing her thing, I've always been I won't ask for permission to no one, kind of just do it. So I think they're always like, oh, it's a little small business. And then as time has gone on, they're like, oh, wait, damn. Like, well, everyone knows that I bought because of course I posted on Instagram.
Yeah.
The house I purchased was for my parents. I purchased it with my business.
Yeah.
When I first started, I saved up all my money. Every event I had, I would get paid and then I would just throw it in a box.
Wow.
And then I just started saving up from there. Of course, I had my other 9 to 5, but my business side money. And then like 2 years and then around 2 years and a half, then I was able to purchase a house for them. So it's like, they've been nothing but supportive. My dad bought me a van last year. I saw
that. I was like, bro, buy me a van.
I was like, Father, why are we making business decisions without talking to me? Because I have to pay for this.
Yeah.
No, but he bought me a van. Very appreciative of that. It did help me out a lot, but I have other plans with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to sell it and get little company cards for the girls.
Oh.
Yeah, it's in my vision board.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
like little scions, and then wrap them around with my logos.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, so I have other ideas, but they've been very supportive. My parents. I wish my brothers understood more of it. You know,
Are they young?
Yeah, they're younger than me. I wish, of course, they were more involved.
Okay.
You know, like I think sometimes it hurt when I started my business and I thought that everyone was gonna be on board with me, and then it's like, hey, like you're kind of on your own, like, you know, because they're your family, but again, they're not investing in it, you know. So it's like it would hurt when they didn't want to help me. Yeah. Or when I know I need help and I can't go ask them.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Yeah.
You know? But because you take it more personal because that's family.
Yeah.
You know? But
and you're like, bro, I'm trying to support you too.
Exactly. Yeah. I don't want to say that, but like you eat off of this.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? So, you know, I never let the family like dynamics get involved like that. Like we don't have issues, you know, we're all cordial to each other, but part of me does hold a grudge, of course, you know, with my brothers, because it's like we could all be helping each other.
Exactly.
Right.
There's something here so that we could all grow from it. And
right. I already took the scariest part, which was starting it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like just help me out.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
But it is what it is.
Currently, is it better?
As far as them helping me?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not involved.
Oh, not at all.
No, they're not involved. My brothers are not involved at all. My mom's my biggest cheerleader.
Okay.
You see on my TikTok videos, she's probably the one commenting, that's my mija, you know, that's my daughter, you know, cheer me on.
Okay.
So, you know, that's just family. Yeah. Sorry to interrupt you. No. I think also like it hurt realizing like eventually your family stops inviting you to stuff. Eventually your family will throw subliminals. You know, like I had a cousin, you know.
Oh.
She knows, you know. She one time through, like we were texting and she had invited me somewhere and I'm like, as long as it's not I don't know what I said, but she was like, what for? You never even show up. And I'm like, well, if you didn't plan it on a Saturday or a Sunday, I probably would show up.
Yeah.
You know, like what happens during the weekend? That's when I'm busy. That's like my income. So
yeah. No, I get that. I definitely see that a lot with friends too in the past. You're like, well, we invite you, but you didn't show up. I'm like, bro, I'm building something.
Yeah.
You know, like, or when you're dating someone too, like they don't understand the concept of starting something or building something and the amount of time that you have to put into like the focus of whatever it is that you need to do. That I think the comprehension is more of the ignorance of they have never done it in their lives. So maybe in their heads, like it's a 9 to 5, you know, like you could just leave it at home or, you know, like you don't have to think about it after you're done working with it. Like, no, it's in my head constantly.
Right. I wish it was that easy.
Yeah.
You know, because honestly, I don't know about you, but I feel guilty when I take time for myself or like whenever it's like spend money on something that it's like not work related. Like I still feel that guilt.
Oh,
you know,
Jordan could be my what is it?
Witness?
My witness on taking days off. He's the one telling me to take a weekend off.
Yeah,
right.
Not just me. The entire real estate community is telling him to take some time off. You know.
Right. Yeah. Like, no offense, but how's your mental if you're not taking days off? Because I know.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just need to shut it off.
Mm-hmm.
Like Sundays, I most likely won't reply to you because I'm shutting it off.
Saturdays?
You know? Yeah, I like.
I won't text you Saturdays then.
You did text me and I didn't reply. You know, I took forever to reply. Yeah.
No wonder. You lied to me.
You know what's so funny? Growing up, I was never about sceneries or about views or about quiet, peaceful, you know? And now that I'm like older, I'm like, I just need to sit down at a park.
Okay.
Or at the beach.
Okay.
And just shut up everything.
Okay.
And then come back to work on Monday.
Okay.
You know, because I started noticing that I wasn't taking breaks and I wasn't even enjoying it no more.
Yeah.
It started becoming a business. It's like a work, like a...
Yeah, well, it just consumes you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I think when I saw you in Riverside and I had mentioned to you, like, I don't do this often, you know, but I even said, I enjoy it more because I don't do this often.
Right.
because I understand that I'm not going to do it often.
Right.
You know, the future, I'm already thinking in the future. I'm like, oh, I'm going to work for the next year. You know, I'll probably see her next year, you know, that kind of thing. So I was more of the moment then. And I think that's where I think for you, it's like, I need to shut everything off. So I'm not thinking about it. And for me, it's just like small moments. And I got that from one of our clients because we did a podcast with her. Her name is Ileana Dominguez. And I asked her about that as far as like her taking days off. And she says, I don't take days off. I have moments off. So when she said that, it made sense to me. I'm like, I can't take days off yet. Like, regardless of like how my mental is right now, like I have to figure it out.
Right.
And maybe it's different because I am a guy and I'm responsible for certain things, you know, like when it comes to the family and stuff like that, I had to almost like build callous on. And I know it's not the most healthiest thing to do, but currently in my life, I'm like, I can't. Like, there is no way that I could just stop because I'm so responsible for someone else's income right now. Like I have Ariana, she has salary. I have this whole thing that I have to, like, regardless, bills are gonna need to get paid.
Right.
You know, my insurance, I help out my family, you know, like there's so many things in the back that I'm like, you know what, like let me, like you said, I wake up and I listen to positive things.
To keep us going.
Exactly.
Motivation of, you know, I make this funny joke to everyone, but I'm like, I like watching The Housewives because I like to motivate myself. You know, like one day I'm going to have that house. One day I'm going to, you know, so I have my own little motivation.
Okay.
Same here. Like, it's not ever fully days that I take off. Like on Sundays, it's like I wake up and I still have to send videos from the day before, pictures from the day before, you know, answer any inquiries. But I know around that day, first few hours, I'm going to just enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
With whoever I'm with, or if I'm by myself with my dog, because it's like, if not, I'm gonna kill someone. You know, like it takes a toll on you, you know? And
yeah. No, I 100%. And I'm pretty sure those that are in the same aspect of business, they understand too.
yeah.
But like I said, it's just right now for me, it's become more like you have to, like, my situation of where I come from, like, appreciate, like, your gratitude has to be there before anything else, because there was a time that McDonald's wouldn't even hire me. There was a time that Del Taco wouldn't hire me. Whatever fast restaurant out here, I applied everywhere, but because I was an immigrant, I couldn't even find a 9-to-5 that would pay me 7 or 8 or whatever minimum wage was at the time. I struggled hard to the point where I'm like, you know what, you need to figure this out. And I did at the time, even going to college, like, I either had the choice, go work with your dad, construction, become a construction worker, be the stereotypical Mexican man. And, you know, like, that's how you're going to make your income, or your family sacrifice coming in from Mexico, coming here, and you getting an education, even though you can't use your degree in anything because no one will hire you. You need to figure this out, and you need to feel grateful that you're here. And from there, like, I started teaching guitar. I started building little businesses. And now doing this, I do sometimes have to sit still and say, look what you have, you know, regardless of how tired, exhausted, anxiety-based, or angry, or whatever type of feeling, it's that keeps me going. It's like, okay, you know, there was a time where you couldn't even hire McDonald's. Like, McDonald's wouldn't even hire you. You weren't even good enough for McDonald's. So, like, okay, what else could you do? And that's kind of, for me, that's where I'm at right now in my head.
Okay.
At a certain point in my head, I know I can't do this forever, like the way that I'm doing it, because it's not healthy. I work 7 days a week. I don't even take Sundays off. Like, every day I'm working on something, regardless if it's busy or not busy. I'm busy. Like, I make myself busy. Like, I'll come here, I'll clean, I'll create something. I have to do something.
Yeah. Well, when you have your own business, there's always something to do. No matter what, we're behind something. We have to catch up on something. We have to send something. We always have something to do. I think I need to learn how to manage my time more wisely too, you know, because sometimes it's like, it's like the day goes by so fast, you know.
But it's also giving it to the people, or I would say to the right people.
Yeah.
You know, because when I hang out, or when I've hung out with David, because he's come out here once and we went out for lunch, I enjoyed it because I understood that the conversation was valuable. You know, I guess the energy that we were kind of feeding off of each other, it was equal to, like, it wasn't just like me hanging out with whoever and whatever person, or even when I went and hung out with you, you know, like, it was different because I knew, like, the conversation was going to be value. There's value in the hangout or the
Of course.
what we're doing. You know, like even I had told you even before I called you, I had to go into a gas station and stop because in my head I'm like, you have so many things to do.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Why are you going to call this girl right now? It's a Thursday. It's a random. Like, I have so many things that I need to edit. But when I get home, it's like a 2-hour drive from my house. Like, what are you doing?
Oh, trust. I totally understand that because, like, even for me right now, it's like an hour and 20-minute drive. Like, I got other stuff to be working on and flyers to be making, templates and stuff. But it's like, I leave. It's worth it for me because I leave here, like, feeling like I'm not alone.
Okay.
Someone could relate to me.
Okay.
You know, you're listening to me. You're going to give me advice. So it's like, it is time very well spent, at least for me. Like,
Yeah.
You know, I'm not just wasting my time. We're not grabbing drinks. We're not over here, you know.
Yeah. Partying.
Yeah. So when people ask for like time like that, it's like, yeah, no, I can't.
Yeah. And I think that's something that we grow into as well. Because we, as business people, we kind of see how fast time goes from the morning to the nighttime. My day goes quick. Like I wake up and I'm like, it's already nighttime. I'm like, oh my God, like how did I get here?
Right.
I feel like I just got out of bed and I'm like, I'm back here. I'm like, okay.
No, for sure. I think I wasn't ready when I went full time on this. I'm like, you know, I'm gonna be able to wake up whatever time I want. I'm my own boss, and it's like, yeah, that doesn't work like that. Yeah. You're not gonna make money like that, you know. So it's. You're your own boss, and I got to tell myself, wake up at 6.
Yeah. Now, going out of your comfortability, because we're talking about expanding, you had mentioned to me prior that you were thinking about buying another photo booth.
Yes.
And how is that going?
I still want to.
Are you pulling the trigger or what's happening?
Not quite yet, just because I still want to train completely well. So when I start bringing other people more, they feel both comfortable. Okay. There's still things that I need to train, but it's just about making sure the girls get it and then buying it. Because I hate right now, my photo booth is doing very well.
Okay.
It's doing very well. So I hate how I am having to say no to a lot of people.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I'm usually saying no to a lot of people because my date's already booked for the photo booth, you know? And I'm like, why am I losing money again?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
are you now currently putting days to train?
We are finishing the wallpaper on the little office and stuff yet. So
first is the office and then
for sure. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I haven't really been posting it. I was gonna make like a little series of like building the little office and get into the whole TikTok of building our photo booth. But I'm not that takes so much time.
It takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of time.
Definitely. And I don't know. I'm still thinking if I want to lean towards like being a teacher, because that is kind of like being an influencer, teaching how to start a photo booth. Like,
yeah. Well, I
just want to show you how my office looks.
Once again, it comes into like how your perspective, or like how you're taking in this. Once again, I'm talking to myself because I hate doing it. I have to make sure that whatever it is that I'm putting out there is resourceful. It has some sort of significance to somebody. Mm-hmm. It basically, there's meaning to it. It's not just I'm posting to post. I want there to be substance.
Definitely. Like I know a lot of girls are motivated by me because I get those messages. Yeah. I used to repost them a lot. They were like, I started my photo booth because of you. I followed you since the beginning. And it's so cute because I'm like, really? Only if you know what I go through. Yeah. Like, little old me. So I was like, I feel so motivated right now. And I want to motivate those that are not motivated. So I'm like, maybe if I start posting that type of content, it will help. But then we go back to our negative talk. And mm-hmm. I'm like, I'm not always that motivating. So do I show that raw side too, Mm-hmm. So it's like, I don't know, maybe I'll start making videos like that.
I think you should.
Yeah.
I think you should. I think I got to know you more in person than on your Instagram. And luckily I got to know you in person before I even went onto your Instagram. I'm not saying that your Instagram is bad or anything, mm-hmm. but there's a lot more of you that I wish you would put on your Instagram. Mm-hmm. And once again, I'm talking to myself.
David used to tell me all the time, you should start a YouTube channel.
All the time. He tells me all the time. And when he comes and whenever I post, he will send me a message like, there you go, come on. And he'll like try to push it where it's more consistent. But I struggle. I struggle. Like, it's not even time consuming because I think if we want to do it, we'll do it. Like it's a priority thing, you know, like am I prioritizing that because I'm seen as a positive, or am I just seeing everything that's negative because I feel like it's cringy, or if I feel like I'm fat that day or whatever, you know, whatever
we're
it is.
our worst critics.
Exactly. So for me, it's almost like I am talking to myself because I am me, you know, like I don't like even overly socializing, you know, I'm not a social person at all. Like I would rather be by myself. Solitude is me, and that's who I want. But
No,
I
definitely.
need to make money.
Like for me, I love being out there and being like so bubbly and at the events and stuff. But then when I think about making these reels with the voiceovers, I'm like, I cannot. I tried it. It's cringy. I
Really?
hate hearing myself.
Okay.
You know, my English is off. I'm my worst critic. So I was like, I don't know how people do it, but it's like I want to.
Yeah. I think you should.
Yeah,
I think you'd probably get more positive than negatives. And once again, I'm talking to myself. Can't say that I'm just talking to you.
Yeah.
It's just one of the things there. We have to just do it. It's just, there's nothing that's stopping us but ourselves. You put the time in to drive over here. Why not put the time in to do that? Because you still have another hour and a half to drive back.
Damn, you didn't have to call me out like that. You really didn't.
So what? That's 2 hours of your life gone, or 3 hours technically, 3 hours of your life gone. So why couldn't have you put 3 hours of just like, hey, today I'm going to put the time into either thinking about creating something, or if not creating it, and editing it. So
yeah.
But once again, I'm talking to myself. I'm not just talking to you. I'm just, you know, just.
No, I get it. I love being called out on my shit. I'll go back and work.
Going on a positive note, what are the relationships that you built off of now doing the photo booth? And now I'm not just talking about clientele, maybe just friendships or acquaintances, you know, like David. I always mention David on my pod as like one of the times that I've had, this is my second podcast that I've done this year, but I like to mention people that I've gained from, you know, from this journey of the photo booth.
It's funny because a lot of these people I haven't even actually met in person. You know, it's like just DMs. Like from Palm Springs, I have a few girls.
Wow,
you know?
that's far.
Yeah. Or, you know, girls from Palmdale too, and or different cities, states, you know, and like they still DM me and they still talk to me, or like they're asking me like, hey, I want to go and do this full time.
Yeah.
Like, how did he do it? And it's like we have conversations and it's nice. You know, those are what I consider my friends because they actually check up on me. You know, and it's like crazy because it's like, do they even know me? Like, have they even met me? You know, they've been following from the beginning. You know, I know you said like besides clients, but Jesus, my clients have made me cry. Like they treat me like a daughter sometimes. You know, I've had clients like in front of their kids, you know, be like, you see Claudia? Like, why can't you be like her? Like, you know, she's young and she has a business and, you know, you ain't doing shit. Like, disciplining them and show, like, I'm their example. I'm like,
Ponte a trabajar.
Yeah, maybe I'm not the best example, you know, but it's, I think that's building these relationships, you know, and it's beautiful.
Okay.
It's its own community in itself, you know. Photo booth has its own community. It's small, but everyone knows everyone, you know, somehow.
I'm starting to get to know people.
Yeah.
I'm barely getting to start. I got
I'll be stalking everyone on TikTok. I'm like, who's this business you're starting?
Yeah, I'm barely getting, but I'm not involved in it fully like you guys are. I'm more of just like, I'm a side. And I think in the beginning, there was shade thrown at my business because of it from the photo booth community.
I would see why. Because it's like, you're not a photo booth. You do photo booths. So it's like, now you want to, kind of like you're taking my money now, you know, because you're not promoting it like a photo booth.
But yet I'll get their jobs easier, and for them it's more of a, I did all this stuff, and why do you get? And I'm like, because I'm better.
You know, but everyone has their own little
niche.
Yeah.
I think it falls into the person though. If people like you, they'll support you.
Exactly, because I've had like people like that's been supporting me for like, and they're loyal. Like people could be loyal to you, you know, if you show
super
them,
loyal,
right? Because I've messed up at some of their, but they're loyal because they like me, you know. So definitely make those connections.
Yeah,
you know?
build a personal, personal connections with your clientele. It's a good thing and it's a bad thing. Currently, like Jordan's been on the team for 4 years now. And he does the houses with me. He does the real estate photography.
Okay.
And still to this day, there are a lot of clients that will not use Jordan, even though his work is just exactly like mine.
Because they
Photos
like
are
you.
exactly like mine. Even if they're not even there, they will still say, I need Irvin, and that's it. Nothing, no one else. And I'm like, it's a good thing and it's a bad thing, because now they're, instead of me getting more work, because I'm now basically stuck in this thing, I can't go and delegate. Technically what I want to do is delegate it to Jordan so that I could go and do more work. And it's been one of those struggles for me. Like, I'm like, that's where I'm seeing it. Like, how do I then communicate to my client? Like, I appreciate your loyalty, but why can't you just be loyal to the company? That kind of thing. Because it's me still, you know, like, don't you want to see me grow, you know?
Yeah. That's interesting. So he's under your company, but they want you. Like, they have personally said, can you be at the event?
Or house or
Right.
whatever. Yeah.
And have you brought up, like, I can't be there, but I could send one of my best employees?
All the time.
And what is usually the response?
We'll wait.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't had that.
Yeah,
Damn.
I've had personal, like, one-on-ones conversations with my clients, and
Aren't you friendly? What's wrong with you?
I am very friendly. The people that I work with oftentimes relay that message. Ariana has told me many times that I've gotten praise from other people. It's just these people oftentimes have this very strong connection with Irvin, and they don't want anything else but him.
Right.
And then I'll go there, I'll do great. And you'll look at the work and you say there's nothing wrong. And they say, yeah, but I don't like that one. Why? Because you didn't shoot it.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, okay. Is it because I don't know Spanish? You know, you get that.
You know what?
I'm just kidding.
I was waiting for one of you guys to mention
Oh,
that. I
dang.
didn't want to be canceled right away, you know? But let's talk about it.
Let's talk about it.
I'm very raw, you know, don't cancel me.
Oh, dang.
Do you think that's a factor that he is Hispanic and, like, he's, like, more with the... Are the clients usually Hispanic and it's like...
I would say on certain occasions, I could see that being a thing. But no, like, we have a lot of Caucasian clients that I'm like, unless
Do you
you're
not speak Spanish?
unless you're
No,
down with
I
the
don't.
brown, you know, like, I
Okay.
could see that. But, you know, like, Jordan's, you know, I always say he's a Viking. Like, bro, like, go take that shit out, bro.
Are you talking a lot of Spanish with those clients? Like, do you feel like...
No,
even?
we have Caucasian, like,
Okay.
literally European, like, they could literally come from French or whatever. I don't know where the hell they come from, but they're just here. They're American. They're just nothing Hispanic about them, but yet they prefer me over Jordan. And there are things that I'm like, bro, like, that photo, there's nothing wrong with that photo. Like, I'll even defend it on either a phone call, email, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. Was there something that he had said or mentioned? Was there, like, he didn't take his shoes off because the client wanted the carpets,
Right.
blah, blah, blah. And they're like, no, it's because I feel like this angle you wouldn't have. And I'm like, I'll look at it on my phone or my computer. And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, there's literally nothing. They'll say anything and anything just so that he won't go anymore.
Yeah, and it's more about that relationship, right? Because also, too, say if they want a discount, who are they going to get it from, him or me?
Him.
Exactly.
Right.
You know, so you have a lot of these people that are stuck in that wave. I've even witnessed it before where they call and they're saying, yeah, no, he did awful. Look at this. And then he goes to, you know, fix it.
Yeah.
And then they get it. And she said, well, nothing changed. And he said, it did. The thing was, though, what you're asking for, we can't do. We can't help with that. You know, so the issue that you brought to us, wanting us to fix, is something even Irvin couldn't fix. But nonetheless, the hostility towards me stayed relevant.
Right.
So there was nothing I could literally do about it. I worked in the food industry.
Okay.
I was a teppanyaki chef. So I had to perform for my customers. And I have to make sure that they're always right. Even when they're clearly wrong, you know?
Yeah.
So when it comes to that customer service, I already have that to bring to the table. So the understanding of how to treat clients, it's already there. The idea that they don't want to use me has to do with their attachment to him as the individual. And then also, in my perspective, the idea if we want something more, who are we going to get it from? You know? And the possibilities of that are going to come from Irvin,
Right.
you know?
I feel like it's weird because it's either an attachment out of habit because they've recognized my face so long. They've called my number when I didn't have a business number yet, and they had direct communication with me. And maybe they're attached to the growth of the business from me having a little Toyota Corolla that sometimes would not even turn on to now that I have this, and they feel like they're a part of it. Maybe it could be that, because I say that it's sometimes I feel like I'm mean to my clients to defend him, and they'll still take it as I said some verse on the Bible, and I'm like, bro, I was just mean to you. Like how are we the community? It's just so I think it's just human conditioning. But I don't know. That's kind of where my the conversation or the question was, that delegating for me hasn't been also just on the trust of somebody. It's also been the customer been more attached to the idea of what they're so used to. And then I'll look back at my old pictures, and I sent Jordan my first house that I did. It was bad. Like, it was disgusting. Like, the way that I shot it, I was already a photographer. My background's the weddings and portraits, family stuff. And then I fell into the real estate, and real estate has its own technique, its own everything. And I went in there super ignorant, and I'm the best photographer, la 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 la. And looking back at that first house, I'm like, wow, it was disturbing. Like, my iPhone takes better pictures than that photo or the photos that I gave that realtor.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh, this is what you're attached to, even though it's ugly. You're attached to this ugly or these ugly pictures, but yet you're attached to maybe just me, and you're not letting go. So yeah, it's just
there's also, as
you build
said,
that trust, that.
Yeah, maybe. But like, once again, I want them to trust me enough to say, trust my judgment.
Employee, I am sending you my best.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because also change. How easy is it for you to change, right?
Right.
And then you have realtors that are successful generally are going to be older because they found success through it, so they stuck to it. So you have these people that they saw Irvin and they said, I'm hiring Irvin. I'm not hiring InView, I'm hiring Irvin. Years go on and that happens, because now I have clients that have never met Irvin. And then they're like, oh, yeah, well, I've talked to him, and it's like, but I always get you. Yeah. So then that idea that there was success when I had you, so there's going to be success again, right?
Wow, I never thought about that.
Yeah, I never thought about it.
That's good.
Yeah.
Very
So
good.
it's just how we work as humans.
So you don't take it personal no more? You don't, like, it doesn't...
I've never taken it personal.
Good. Like, it's never...
Because when I was at Tokyo Steakhouse, I did dancing for 13 years. So I would throw dancing in my little show when I'm spinning the spatula and whatnot. And then I'm getting people's clients and everything. And then those family, they want the other chef because they haven't had him for a long time. Like, it's not my business. You know? If they wanted to, they would want the owner to cook it. Everyone would be so ecstatic to have Robbie cook their table, right? Because he's the owner of the company. It's this great honor almost, Yeah. So now when you have somebody that has an employee, it's like, well, no, I supported you from the beginning.
Right. They feel a little entitled of, like...
I should have that, you know?
You should make it a priority to be here and help me because I helped you to start. Kind of...
Yeah, so you have many different layers of what it could be, and for each individual it's something different. For me, if I take it personally, why did I get that client? Did I go out of my way to talk to them and bring them here? I did none of that. It is for Irvin, and I'm here to help out the team. If I get too attached on the idea that, why don't your clients want me? Like, whoa, how American am I?
Well, at some point you wouldn't be like, well, what am I not doing right? Like, they don't want me. Like, I mean, that has crossed your mind? Like,
and that goes into, am I perfect?
No.
So I'm going to make mistakes, right? And then Irvin's been doing it twice as long as me. So if I'm even remotely close to his standard, heck yeah, I'm doing pretty good, But once again, if I take it personally, what does that do for me? Does that help me grow? Am I happy doing this? Am I going to push forward? Or is it all just going to crumble into me in this self-deprived desperation of trying to find myself to be accepted?
Very true.
I'm not in it for that. To me, it's fun, but I've even told Irvin very on. I had a dance studio, so I wanted my company to succeed. Sadly, the community didn't have my back, and then eventually I didn't have my own back. So
Really? Why haven't you done a video talking about that?
He has the same concepts of ideas that we do. It's almost like he wants to do it, but he doesn't do it.
The video of talking about his business?
Well, the idea of being on social media.
Okay.
Yeah.
So are you not on social media?
He is, but not like active.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Well, so I took a break from social media before I met him. So then when I got in here, he's like, "We got to be on social media,"
Yeah.
and it hasn't caught yet. I haven't caught traction yet to where
Okay.
I have this desire to do it. But I see you guys struggle with that
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
You know,
just
so
have to do it.
just have to do
Yeah,
it. you know?
because
Yeah.
that's the world we live in now. Everything's social media, unfortunately.
Yeah, for me, it's most of the concept of just think of it as a business, business growth,
Right.
another way of reaching out to maybe a potential client.
Networking,
Networking,
socializing, putting
exactly.
your business out there. It might work, it might not work. You know, you take those risks. You know,
Exactly. But
motivating
it's
others.
it's more of just I can't see it as an influencer based concept because I don't want to be an influencer. I'm like, oh, who am I?
You know, I always joke around with my close friends and family. I'm like, I cannot be an influencer. I will get canceled in 1 second the way I talk. Yeah, but you know.
But we have to push ourselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I do try my best to motivate him or try to tell him as much as I can, but I can't force him, you know.
Do you mind me asking why you took a break? Was it like mentally affecting you? Did you not want to be on social media or?
Yeah, just that. And it was like, what am I doing on here? What's the purpose of it? And
Right.
then should I be doing this or should I read the 15 books that are gathering dust?
See, I love that.
It's like,
That's exactly what I'm like. Oh my God, social media has fried our brains so much. Like I am guilty of it, you know. But then I can't take a break. I can't just turn it off. You know, I've done it where it's like I've gone without posting and stuff, and I noticed the difference right away. You know,
I saw the growth of the business last year because I was posting more frequently,
okay,
and I'm like, but it's a lot of work.
yeah,
But it's more, like I said, it's perspective. I have to look at it. It is work. It is cringy or whatever negative I want to think about it. But it's the way that we're now communicating, and it's the way that we have to brand ourselves or market our business. And I have to take it that way, and that's it. And I'm not gonna post some funky dance on TikTok or on
That's
Instagram.
not you.
That ain't me. You're never gonna see me doing it. But if I could find an avenue like podcasting, or even just posting my street photography on my personal page or random portraits on my Instagram page, I'll do that. But when it comes to like now struggling into being in front of the camera and trying to be the influencer base, I'm like, these are the 5 things that I've noticed when I first started doing real estate photography. That to me, very robotronic, very salesman-y. I know it's very beneficial. I'm not going to say it's not.
Yeah.
But I just like Jordan, I have to find my stride in it. You know, like how do I approach it where it's still me and it's not consuming my life? And I'm not just going to say that I'm an influencer to be an influencer, because we all know that everyone right now is his own celebrity. We're all special. We're all glamorous and perfect with our all filtered and blah, blah, blah. And that to me, I'm trying my best not to fall into it because I know we can. I'm really trying my best because it's just like you said, it consumes you.
Oh yeah.
Like currently we go on Instagram. We want to go on Instagram right now.
Yeah.
Even when I'm
like
talking
already like, how long has this been already? Like, haven't looked at my DMs. Yeah, no, it does affect us a lot.
Yeah. But yeah, I know Jordan has a listing at 4:00, so I'm not going to take Jordan too much of his time. And I want, if there's anything that you want to end it with.
Yeah, the next time Jordan should be here with us talking more.
Well, that's why he's behind the camera, because I need someone to do that. And I do give Jordan the go ahead and speak whenever he wants. I think we haven't done a podcast in a while. Like, I think this is the second time, right? With the last time was with Martha.
Yeah.
And then this is our first time with you. And even on text, I said, I wish I could do this more often. I think it's just a pattern of how could Jordan fall into it where he's more a part of the podcast. And I've always told Jordan, fall into it whenever there's a dead space or anything, because it can't just be just my podcast either. Like initially, Ariana was here next to me. Like when we first started this podcast, I had Ariana next to me and she was a part of it.
Right. And sorry to interrupt you because I know we're short on time. Like how you mentioned your business not doing well, and then, battling with that. I would have loved to hear that story because that's always motivating. Like you could always learn something from that, you know, where you went wrong, what you wish you would have done differently. So
Absolutely.
I would have loved to hear a little bit more of that.
Yeah.
You'll have to come back.
Because I could totally need that motivation, you know,
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
Hope to hear that story.
Yeah, no
All right. We're gonna end it because
Yes.
Jordan has to go.
So we'll end it here. You know, I have to promote myself. Follow Miss360 photo booth. But it was really nice having.
Thank you so much for making the drive. And thank you for everything, for just entertaining, just the concept of even being on the podcast and the coffee. Or we didn't even have coffee. We had pizza.
No, we were over here promoting this, of course.
Oh,
you know,
or
hashtag, yeah.
And of course, hopefully I get to see you again.
Yes, I would
If
love
not
to.
here, if not an event, just a random location. It's just always nice to see people that are like I said, directional, focused, and similar mindsets within the same path that I'm going into. Because like you said, sometimes we are lonely and sometimes we feel like no one else is experiencing this but us.
Right. We go crazy in our own head.
Exactly.
We're like talking to ourselves 24/7.
Exactly. And just like Aliana said, just enjoy the moments, even though you don't have days off. And
Yeah.
this is a moment that I'm definitely enjoying.
I am glad. Yeah.
So thank you so much. Thank you everybody that's listening. For those that aren't on YouTube, I am also on Spotify. So listen to on Spotify, InView Media _. And till the next one. Bye.